right, so I'm going to just try to show people how to make the graph, and then eventually near the end, I'll show you how to put on the error bars using the standard deviation. But just a couple quick things. So some people might know how to do this, but if you're trying to format a table, as I've done up here, you can also merge the cells, and then you have other things like, putting this in the middle. So you can kind of experiment with that too, formatting this the way that you want, and then just remembering that you always want units in the headings, and that you only want numbers in your actual table to graph. So the other thing, if you're trying to, I'm going to try to make this, I'm going to shrink this down just so I have a little bit more space to actually make my graph. And whatever's easier, I mean, essentially the data that we want to graph here, and I'll just kind of highlight, I want to create this graph that has the enzyme concentration on the x-axis because that's what I changed. And then I want this average rate to be graphed. So I can select both of these together, and I'm pressing the command to select both of these. But also notice that you could cut these. And then let me just show you, if I cut the averages, so I'm gonna copy these and paste them, notice that they're set up to be a formula. So actually this is gonna give me the incorrect average here. So if you ever wanna copy and paste, something that's really helpful is if you right click, there's this paste special and to just paste the values. And you can see that there I actually got my values. But again, I could also set up a formula. I could just say, I want this box to be these averages, and then it would also link them. So whichever way you want to do that is fine. So I'll show you the two different ways. A lot of people, if you get, your X and Y here, it's really just easy to do insert chart. And then Google Sheets will kind of set up, they'll guess like this is definitely not the chart that I want. And so you might in the setup have to click through and kind of say like, if you have, so again, this looks ridiculous, but this is helpful because sometimes you need to sort of click around until you get the kind of chart that you want. So when I'm looking at my, and yeah, so here, I could try something like line, but this has put my data in a way that is not really going to be that helpful for me. So what I want here, I know that I want my X values to be this I, right? I9 through J9. That looks fine. But actually, I just want to plot these averages as my Y values. So I can look over here and say, actually, like these all look incorrect. So I could remove all the series, and then I could just say, I just want this to be, and then I can actually select this. Like I just want these to be these J9 through J15. So let's see if this works. So notice that they had kind of automatically selected the switch rows and columns, and that kind of messed this up. So now you can see that and again, kind of messing around in here and looking at, these are the X values that I want, these are the Y values that I want, here is the graph that I want, and then you can sort of customize to show not only, starting to put in axes titles, so the effect of enzyme concentration on reaction rate. And then I want to start putting in my horizontal is my enzyme concentration, and I want my units in here. And then on my vertical axis, I want this to be my reaction rate, and this is moles per liter per time. So now this is starting to look like what I want. I can say that I want a data point on there. I can also, and this is where eventually we're going to format these, but just be really careful the way that we're going to do the error bars. And there might be a couple different ways to do this. We are going to eventually want error bars on each point that are different. So ideally, you might want to draw these on first. And so we're actually going to print out the graphs and then try to put these on. Notice that you can change a lot of things about like vertical axis, maybe to plot the error bars. It's going to be easier if I have some, oh, I actually want this. I want grid lines and ticks. And so I can say, maybe I actually want this to be 0.1 so that I can actually see these a little bit better and start to plot. Or I could say, maybe I want these to be 0.5 so that I can actually plot those error bars a little bit more easily. So this might be the graph that you do if you are going to put on the error bars manually, which is really good the first time you do this to kind of understand what they are. And then later on, I'll do another video that will show you how to put on the error bars, which takes another little step.